Welcome to Meg's Mysteries. This story is called The Lost Earrings. Do you believe in the hereafter, or do our souls stay here on earth just lingering, waiting for someone to help to give them peace? Do our possessions keep them tethered to the earth? So when you find them, they can come through? Maybe you can help them move on. Here is such a story, but is it real or just a dream? Come and find out if you dare. New Orleans, 2020. I finally made it, a place I've always dreamed of seeing, and now I'm living here. I'm living a dream for the whole year. Just doing what I love, preparing and learning great recipes from a world-famous chef. I get to learn from Chef Andre in his own Creole French restaurant. I am to be his apprentice and learn all I can while I'm here. I won the International Cooking Contest with my own recipe, Shrimp Monica Souffle. I entered the contest after graduating from the North Carolina Culinary School, the art of cooking. I was awarded a full year in New Orleans, learning from the master chef himself. Now my story begins. Eva Morning here. Can't believe it. I'm walking down the street of New Orleans. So excited. I'm staying at the Hotel St. Clair. It's said to be haunted, so I guess I can get the full experience of the city. Later I have to look for an apartment for a year while I'm learning my craft from the master chef himself and work in his restaurant side by side with his wonderful staff. It's a warm afternoon as I explore the area where I will be living in. Great little stores and restaurants. I'll be checking out, and I hopefully will find an apartment to rent. I won the contest and trip, also the year of working at their restaurant. My grandmother gave me the rest of the money to stay for the year. She said, "It's an investment in your future. I taught you the love of cooking. Now it's your turn to shine." I named the winning recipe after her, Shrimp Monica Souffle. After checking in with the chef and his staff and getting to know them all, I have a couple days to get settled in and find an apartment to live in for a year. Then I'll start to work. I can't wait. I stopped at a nice cafe, Mama Juliette. The best baguettes in New Orleans was on the sign, and they were terrific. She was so friendly, and she sat down with me, telling me of the city and the locals. I told her how I came to be here and that I'll be here for at least a year, and I need to find a place. She said, "You're in luck." We became great friends right away. I told her I'll be back as soon as I can. She told me as I was leaving, there's a place for rent not too far from here, off the main street, and gave me the address. As I was walking looking for the address, it started a downpour of rain, humid rain. So I ducked into a store called Lost and Found, an antique and novelty store. The owner, Mr. T-Bone, yes, that's his real name, he said, "Stay and dry off. Look around. You might find something that will catch your eye." Then he left and went into the back. I looked around at all the many cases and shelves with its interesting things. A jewelry case caught my eye, with a pair of old earrings that glowed with the light shining on them. How beautiful they were, but very old. Mr. T-Bone came out and said, "Find something? Ah, yes, those are one of a kind. Perfect for you." I told him I had limited funds. He said, "We can work a deal, half price." I don't know but why I had to try them on. I looked in the mirror and they were like they were made for me. I started to feel that I'd worn them before, and I needed to get them. So we made a deal. Even at half price, it was too dear for me. So he let me pay on a payment plan. And when I become famous chef, I can cook for him. I told him I was working with Chef Andre. He said he was friends with him, and I would do wonderful, and I would learn from the best. I also made a new friend with Mr. T-Bone. I'll come back once a week and pay for the earrings until they're paid off, and I'll visit with him. He knew a lot of great stories about this city. So now I'm off. It was my lucky day. I need to go see about an apartment now. As I was leaving, the rain was light mist. I noticed a little dog sitting in the doorway, keeping out of the rain. He was soaking wet. I dried him off with a handkerchief and then said, "There you go, now you can go home." But he just followed me as I started on my way. He kept following me down the street as I was looking for the address Mama Gillette gave me. I told him, "Go home now," but he just ran ahead of me. Then he looked back and barked. Then he slipped under an iron fence of the most beautiful home I've ever seen. I said, "Okay, you're home now." And then he barked again. I said, "You need help?" So I went in and knocked on the door. A small boy appeared, and then his mother. "Are you here for the apartment?" Then the dog ran into the house. I said, "Is this your dog?" She said, "No." I told her, "Sorry, I'll get him out. And I am looking for an apartment." I thought to myself, this is my lucky day. She showed me the furnished apartment on the second floor that was in my price range. I found a home. Also, the dog found a home, and the little boy fell in love with him and said, "He's your dog, but I'll help take care of him when you're at work." His mother agreed, and that's how we got lucky. That is what we both named him. I got into a routine at work, and I was loving it. I worked hard and came home tired, but very happy. I felt at home here. The weeks went by so fast. I had a Wednesday night off. We all had work during the day getting supplies in and cleaning the restaurant. So we all had the night off to rest and get ready for the rest of the week. I was invited to a party with one of the staff. We all were free to enjoy our time off. I made a lot of friends that were going. I planned to wear a dress and my new old earrings. When I looked in the mirror, I felt very strange, a strange feeling, and I got extremely tired. So a nap would do me good until it's time to go. I must be more tired than I thought with all this new excitement in the job. So I'll lay down for a little bit, but then I fell off into a deep sleep. Dreams are memory of long ago time. I'm living in the past. My name is Carlotta LaFay, and I'm in the city of New Orleans. It is 1700s, when young girls are sent to a new world to marry, hopefully to a happy new life. I was sent here from France to be the bride of a wealthy landowner, Colonel John Williams, his son James Williams. On the voyage, we were attacked by pirates. The crew was set off on small boats, and the ship was seized by a young pirate, Captain Louis Perron. He took a fancy to me and told me he would take me to New Orleans himself, and no harm would ever come to me. He treated me like a lady, and then he did what he promised. I was taken to the port and dropped off. He told me, "I will see you again. I have a family home here. I have to sneak in sometimes to check on my parents, but I'll be back to find you." And then he was off, back to his ship, before anyone could catch him. Many were looking for him. He had a large bounty on his head. I found out later he was from a wealthy family that lost almost everything but their home. So he became a pirate to survive and help them. I was brought in by the priests and nuns of St. Augustine and told that I could stay here until my wedding to James Williams. I never met him. It was an arranged marriage with my family and his father. I didn't even want to be married. He was a ladies' man, and his father wanted him to settle down. That's how I came to be in New Orleans, a whole new world, so far from my own home. I never wanted to leave home, but my father thought it was a good match, and in a new country, and he was paid well for me. Many men sent away for brides from the old country because this was a new country, and not many girls to marry. Some had happy marriages, but some had not so happy, stuck in a horrible life. When I finally met the family and my betrothed, James, I didn't like him at all. He was arrogant, selfish, and not at all interested in me or marriage. He told me, "I only do this because my father insists I settle down, but no one will settle me down. I go where I want with who I want. So get this straight, it's a marriage of convenience. So I will inherit it all. You are nothing but a possession." He was nothing like the pirate who treated me with kindness and respect. I had to get away from them. The whole family was mean. There was no love there. The father glared at me and my every move. He made me afraid of him and his stares. The mother was a distant and very possessive of her son, who could do no wrong in her eyes. I felt evil in the house as soon as I stepped in. I was to wed in a month's time, so I prayed for help. My prayers were answered by my Savior, Luis Perón himself. He found me as he told me he would, and then we planned our escape together. He asked for my hand in marriage and gave me a wedding present of expensive earrings and promised to love me forever. But at last I must tell you I was murdered before my escape. You must find who and why for me. I never saw who did it. I need your help to put me to peace and to be with my beloved again. Please help. Then I woke up. Lucky was licking my face and I said, "Oh, I must have passed out. It's so late. What a dream I had." He looked at me and then ran off to find Freddie. As I got up, I noticed a book on the bookshelf, almost falling off. It was an old diary of Carlotta Lafleur. How did that get here? Did I read it? Is that what I was dreaming about her? No, I would have remembered that. It seems when I put on the earrings, something or someone took over and tried to tell me her story. How crazy is this? I'm so overtired, or am I just going crazy? I had to find out more, so I read the whole diary in her own hand. The last page was, "I'm off to freedom and my love. We will be married and a new life is ahead of us." That was the last entry. So did she live here in this house so long ago? And what happened to her? Why was I dreaming it? Was she murdered before she can escape? And who killed her? The earrings, the house, the diary. How was it all connected? So I took a chance and went to see Mr. T-Bone and asked where the earrings fit in and if he knew anything about its owner. The next day brought it all together. He did know all about her, and he smiled. He said, "You are the one to set her free. She was waiting all these centuries. You are connected to her lost soul. She was waiting for your help, for her to move on." How was I connected? I'm from North Carolina, not here. We're not even related. Oh, but you are, my dear, a very distant relative on your grandmother's side. You didn't know you were part French, did you? And Carlotta's own sister was an ancestor of yours. She also came that year and settled in North Carolina. She married and lived a happy life, had a large family, and that's how you're connected. So how can I help her? I did more digging and research at the town hall and read everything I could about the time and the families from that time she was here. All records did help me find where she was buried. She was in the Williams family crypt. I guess they felt bad because they brought her here, and she was murdered at their own home. Even if she didn't marry their son, she wasn't a family member, but she was found dead in their own house, pushed off her own balcony, and she was not at rest. But who did it? The mother disliked anyone who came between her and her son. She even told Carlotta, "I hate you and wish you were gone." It was in writing in Carlotta's diary. The father, the head of the house, always used to get his own way. He used to constantly leer at her, and one time tried to push himself on her, but the maid came in and Carlotta got away. He then threatened her not to tell. The son never wanted to be tied down, wanted only a life of fun and women, but needed her so he could inherit everything. Or was it the pirate, jealous of the marriage? The son, I found out, disappeared too, never to be found. Maybe he just left. I had another dream that night, but Carlotta wasn't the one. It was the pirate, Luis Perón himself, telling me his story. Days before her wedding, she was at the Williams home. I came for my Carlotta and found her murdered by the son. He saw that she was leaving, and no one leaves him, so he killed her. But my blade did hit him in, and he's in the swamp forever. His worthless body for all eternity floats with the alligators. I'll take my life now to be with my beloved once more. But Carlotta was not at rest until now, when I put her story together. She can rest in peace with him forever in eternity. I saw their ghosts go together again, smiling at me, and then off to the light. Well, I'm still here, loving the whole New Orleans experience. I may never leave. I found my family history and helped two souls come back to each other and then move on. I found a home here, great food, a wonderful job, and made many friends, living and dead. Only in New Orleans. Hope you all enjoyed this story. New Orleans has many tales of mysteries, ghosts, legends, witches, and don't forget it's the home of voodoo magic and so much more. Until next time on Meg's Mystery, enjoy your evening.